Episode
661.
BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
That was an angry intro to episode 661 of BRB UK. Coleman is hello, Coleman. Say hello, Coleman.
Hi!
He's working through some issues this week. It's been a tough week at the petrol station. They've brought in this new kind of gasoline. He doesn't know what octane it is. He doesn't know how to advise consumers. He's all of a kerfuffle. It does it. Lemon lime or raspberry? Is it closer to? Ooh, spicy. I'm here this week, but Tim isn't because he's got diseases. That's all I'm going to say. Patient-doctor confidentiality. He's got diseases and they are contagious. I can't say any more. I cannot say any more, much though I'd love to. But yes, he's not here, but he's resting up, bless him. And he had to take the week off Tabletop Tuesday, which for Tim gives you a good idea of how poorly he is because he loves a tabletop and he loves Tuesdays even more.
Somebody finally took our advice and turned up to the loading bar in Stoke, Newington, and licked him.
Yes, and that was the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, to be
fair,
fair,
the super flu.
To be fair, I've been quite careful in the recommendations I've given to the listeners over what they should do should they encounter Tim in the wild, and generally is lightly caress the inside of his thigh, which if Tim is wearing appropriate bottom half clothing apparatus should confer a relatively mild risk of him catching anything. I believe the licking recommendation came from you, and I cannot be held responsible for that.
I mean, I think we're just going around the long way of saying Tim's ill and he's not here this week.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Get well, Tim.
Bye, Tim. He died as he lived.
Slowly.
I would say Tim needs a doctor. A rhythm doctor.
Hey! Because that's what I've been playing. Oh,
yes.
We're jumping straight in, are we, Coleman?
I want to jump straight in because I was looking this up. Rhythm Doctor, when I was trying to find footage for this, a lot of the footage seems about 7 years old. So
yes, it has been in early access for a while.
Right. What's the deal with Rhythm Doctor, Dan?
So it's finally released, which is why I'm talking about it. So I was vaguely aware of this being in early release for a long, long while. And it finally making its way to 1.0 made me think, you know what, I should really pick this up. I like rhythm. Once upon a time, I was a doctor, and I should probably, see what this is about. Being the local expert on doctoring, and I used to play the rhythm guitar, so that's my excuse. So this game, it's a marvelous setup. There's just one button. There's only one button you need. And that's the space bar or the A button if you're on. I haven't tried it on Steam Deck, but I'm presuming it's like the A button. So the premise is simple. You've got to press the space bar on the correct beat. And doing that imbues your patients with glorious life energy and stops them from getting the bad things, because we don't want people getting the bad things. And when bad things happen, their heart stops. And when the heart stops, that means something's gone fairly wrong, and lawyers tend to
when
get
the
involved.
Fun stops, that's when your heart stops.
Stops, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly that. So this is a fairly simple premise, but it's essentially it's got a slightly ridiculous setup where basically the hospital's really busy. Lots of people got heart problems. They're having to kind of outsource some of this patient care because they're so busy, and they've decided to do it with kind of like essentially they've outsourced it. You're in the rhythmy call center, or you're the person who signed up to give them a hand, and you're on the end of an internet connection, and you're trying to get the timing right to keep people's hearts happy. So that's the setup basically. It's a pioneering program.
It looks kind of like an extended WarioWare, but just the one motion.
Yeah. Now to the untrained eye, quite reasonably, it looks like it could be a bit of a one-trick pony, where it's just hitting the beat every now and again. But it starts to like layer in difficulties, like patients with particular heart murmurs, or not murmurs, arrhythmias rather. That's the proper word.
Makes sense.
Arrhythmias, so that you've got, rather than doing every 7th beat, you've got to do every 2nd beat, or their heart can suddenly speed up or slow down. Or there could be multiple patients you're having to treat at the same time, all with different rhythms. So it starts kind of ratcheting it up in difficulty. And what becomes, you go, I've got this. This is fine. I can do this. It starts becoming really quite challenging, really quite quickly. And it's, it really kind of lulls you into that false sense of security. And I've really, really liked it, actually. Although I have to say, for me to actually do all right with it, I actually shut my eyes, so I'm not looking at any of the visual cues so far, and I'm just relying on the rhythm. Because there can be a lot. If you can see the screen caps, see the screen captures on the stream. There is a lot going on screen sometimes, and actually sometimes just kind of zoning in and listening to the music and going on your own little percussive journey.
It's very distracting. Like there's pop-ups, windows moving, there's glitching, virus alerts, and all kinds of things. Yep. It does. I mean, by the sounds of it, it does seem like this game shouldn't have been called Rhythm Doctor. It should have been called Dr. Beat. But I think Gloria Estefan would have had something to say about that. Yes,
she would have very much had something to say about that. But yeah, it's a good little game. It's got a lovely, awesome pixel art style, much like everything else does these days. But it's done with a lot of care and attention. There's lots of kind of like kind of in jokes to gaming culture, which I really appreciate, which is really good. It is done with quite a lot of love, care, and attention, and the soundtrack's absolutely banging. It's got a great soundtrack to it with all kinds of musical styles, from like kind of tune to almost show tune type things to dubstep, techno, just about everything else you could think of. Bit of rock in there as well. It's it's really, really good. It is good.
It looks very intriguing.
I would give it. I mean, it's how much is it at the moment? It's
16, I think.
I would probably like it to be a bit nearer 10. I'll be honest with you, but it is a game made with a lot of love, with a lot of attention to detail. I really enjoy playing this game. It's bloody hard, and it's much harder than you expect. But I've really enjoyed it. And there's the kind of replay value with like night shift versions as well, which ups difficulty. Can confirm night shifts twice as hard. And you have to suspend your disbelief, just kind of acknowledging what Sam's saying in the chat. It's like, I'm not sure that's how some viruses can actually affect heart conduction, especially if you have something that leads to pericarditis. But that's a whole other rant for another day. But yeah, you have to suspend your disbelief, because that's not really how cardioversion works, which is the posh word for giving the heart rhythm a bit of a do-over. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've had lots of fun. I would recommend it. If it's good tongue-in-cheek humor, visually it's a treat, musically it's awesome, and I've really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, a recommend from me.
I will say, and I did the same thing as the other day when you and Tim had your game suggestions, and I was putting the footage together, and these look kind of cool, so I went in and picked them up myself at the same time. And I was tempted to do that with this one as well, but I have my game already set up. I might buy this like next week, but it looks very interesting, and I do love a rhythm game. Yeah,
and loads of challenge in here. Don't let the fact it's one button put you off. This is like up there with.
It looks it.
Look, it's a little bit like kind of, especially when all like the modifiers come in, it gets really hectic really quickly. But when you nail it, you feel really awesome, in the same kind of way that when you absolutely nailed a Guitar Hero solo, it's that kind of feel where it's just the right kind of challenge, and you feel like you're a little bit special in a good way. not
I'm a
spelled
little
with
bit
an
special.
SHUL. You are very much special, but in this way, you feel like you've earned said specialness. So, I like.
Okay. Good.
I like.
So that's Rhythm Doctor. That's available on PC right now, and it's £16.75.
Certainly is.
Yeah.
Certainly is. So enough about what I've been playing, Coleman. What have you been playing, you young scallywag?
Well, I picked up Skate Story, which is one that when I looked into, it seems a lot of people have been waiting quite some time for this game also. I didn't know of its existence until a couple of months ago, and there was a sort of flash of it in one of these game streams, and I went, "Oh, I want that! I want to know more about that thing." So I've been looking out for this. I had my notification set as soon as it was ready. In goes the installation. In goes the Steam Deck. I am off to the races. So other than the quick snippet I'd seen previously, I was pretty much blind to Skate Story, and I'll be honest, I wasn't ready for how much this was going to stick with me. I thought this was going to be a sort of artsy-fartsy skate game, and it is kind of, in a way. It's a surreal-looking skateboard game, and it has a very strong visual hook. But that's just the starting point, really. So this is a game where you play as a fragile glass skater moving through the underworld, and you skate.
As you do.
Skate a lot. Yeah, you skate at quite a speed, and you pull off tricks, and you try not to explode into 1,000 pieces every time you wipe out or clip a wall or something along that way.
Right.
And because you're made of glass, you will die a lot. It's quite strict. It's quite demanding. And you're not quite sure where checkpoints are, so you don't know like where you're going to screw up completely. But once you mess up, you jump straight back in immediately, and you know not what to do next time. Even though if you're like me, and I know I am, you'll probably do it about 10 more times until you actually go, "Oh, thing in brain, wire, do this way." It's an interesting one. It's kind of broken up into different sections. You've got moments where you're just skating through a section, going past obstacles, trying not to die, and then you go for a point and you're into the next level, and it keeps going that way. And then you end up with areas when you're in sort of like an open world hub, small area hub, where you go around and you collect currency, which is souls in this case. You do tricks, you do little mini missions until you can progress your way out of the open area into the next load of chase scenes.
So I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question. Why am I skateboarding through hell? And why does the devil want me to skate to the moon in this game?
Right.
I'm very confused.
You're going to love this.
Okay,
You're going to love
right.
this. This
All right,
is
I'm
not
strap
going to make
him.
much sense, Dan.
Good. Right. Bring it on.
Get this for an intro, as much as I can remember from the intro.
Okay.
You play as a wireframe demon who one day looks up at the moon and goes, "I want to eat that." So he makes a deal with the devil.
Right.
The devil gives Tussin with the mission of eating all 6 moons.
Okay.
And
right. A buffet,
in order to
if
do
you will.
so,
Lunar buffet with you. Right.
So to assist you, he gives you a skateboard, but also curses you with the glass body.
What? Just for giggles?
That's the setup of the game.
Well, why did you give me a glass body? Why's he done that? That's just being a dick.
To torture you, he's the devil.
Right, okay. But even so, like, it's still a bit unnecessary, really. I just want to have a little nibble of the moon. Nom, 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 nom.
It's interesting. And I was watching a couple of different videos on this before I ended up picking it up myself. And it was an interesting thing because the story's weird, obviously, from that setup.
No.
But
What?
Yeah. There's no voice acting. It's all text-based and done through kind of still screens and stuff. But it's done in such a way that, you know, it's funny. It's got a clever wit to it. It's got a dry sense of humor. It's bizarre. The humor, to me, it's kind of it's like the weird graphic jokes that you would get on a skate deck, and then try to like the weird twisted horror cartoony pictures and things. And someone went, "Yeah, that's the narrative for this game, I guess." It doesn't really make sense. It just looks cool. So yeah, it's an interesting one. And then the videos that I've been watching, people have been approaching the developer to sort of take interpretation on different things that happen. It's like, oh, does this rabbit that you're chasing mean this? And he's just kind of gone, no, it's because it's cool. It doesn't, there's no sense to it. I just thought it was a cool thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you can find some kind of meaning from all this, go for it. You know, fill your boots. But that's not the intention here, which I thought was a very funny way of taking this. Well, skateboarding, I think, is the hook, is what draws you in. I thought this would be like you're looking at it and it looks Tony Hawk. I get it. And it's not a Tony Hawk. This game is more about the point scoring and less about the kind of gaining mad air and then pulling off loads of tricks. It's more about the kind of combos that you're going to be able to do. And in so much so, it is quite finicky pulling off tricks at some time, because you're either doing all tricks are done through the B button, the circle button, and then a combination of the shoulder pads and the triggers. So it's literally hold a trigger,
the shoulder pad. There's an 80s theme. I like it.
And so it's simple in that way. It's only 2 buttons to pull off a trick, but it's trying to remember which one does which. And even though there's only 1 button in conjunction, even though it's a B button or a circle button, depending on what controller you're using, sometimes I still hit Y, which dismounts off the board. And I'm like, damn it, why did I hit that? That's not the button I wanted to hit. So you've got to kind of re-trigger your brain to not do Tony Hawk things, even though it looks very Tony Hawk in its style of the skateboarder, that kind of camera angle to it and what have you. It is a very interesting one, and it's one that I've been sticking with, and it's much like Rhythm Doctor. It has a fantastic soundtrack. The intro to this podcast, in fact, I pulled some of the soundtrack for it. It's got this weird mix of, sometimes it's like this very heavy dance rock, sometimes it's vapor, like that vapor sound. It's 80s synth. It's got all these kind of different things mixed up, and it's actually got a 2-part soundtrack for such a short game as well. There's a volume 1 and 2 online. I recommend checking them both out on whatever your streaming platform is of choice. But yeah, it's a very good game. Skate Story. It's not flawless. It's confident. It's strange. It's unapologetically weird. It's short. It's tough. It's doing something different. And if you're looking for something different, go for it. I will say, playing on Steam Deck, mileage will vary for the most part.
I was going to ask about that.
It performs very well on the Steam Deck. I can't tell if it's because I set it up to do Steam Deck dock things to go
Steam Deck dock.
Playing 720 on the deck, playing 1080 on the dock. But at some point it started slowing down, and I can't tell if it's because I was messing around with the visuals or if it's because of the open area sections that I've gone into. But at some point it's slowed down. It's not a huge amount, doesn't off-put you from the game at all. It's just a little bit noticeable in places. But you don't have to play this on the Steam Deck. This is available on PC, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch 2, and Mac.
Did I hear correctly as well that this was available on one of the 15 flavors of PS Plus as well?
I haven't seen that, but I'm not a PS Plus subscriber, other than the kind of monthly basic. Okay, fair enough. You look into that.
You're a basic boy.
Yeah, the prices seem to vary based on handheld support. So $15.99 is your console price, $16.99 is your PC price. That's your Steam Deck tax. $17.99 is your Nintendo Switch 2 price.
Oof.
So £1 difference on each of those platforms. But yeah, it's out now. I recommend it. It's a very good game. Not sure it'll hit my games of the year. I still haven't finalized my 3, but it's a very enjoyable game. If it wasn't for, I think if it wasn't for Dispatch, this would have snuck in.
Really? Is that good?
At the moment, I really like Dispatch. I don't know. I'm umming and ahhing here. I keep changing. I've changed my lineup for games of the year so far. I don't know how many times, but we'll see. We'll see when we get our end of the year shows done.
I'm furiously trying to find it, by the way, as you can probably tell.
I mean, it's not that important, Dan.
It is to me. I need to know. Yes, it is PS Plus included.
Oh, okay. What level? Essential, the other ones, premium.
It just
Ultra,
says
ultimate.
With a premium. No. Hang on. No, it's just saying add to library.
There you go.
PS Plus Extra.
PS
Thanks,
Plus
Sam.
Extra. Thank you, Sam, in the chats.
I'm adding that sucker to my library. Because what I'm going to do on my day off, do you know what I'm going to do? I've got a day off on Friday.
Story.
You know what I'm going to do? Well, I'm finally going to connect I'm finally going to unbox my PS5 from when I moved because I haven't had a chance to unbox it yet.
Okay.
And since then, we've got a nice new telly downstairs, and my wife's at work, and we've got a soundbar, and I think it might need to happen in 4K.
This is a good
gloriousness.
game for a soundbar, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm thinking that might be my Friday sorted.
Interesting. I like it.
Should
we do some news?
Well, there's only been the Game Awards, so do we have to?
There's been a few things.
Right.
For instance, Dan. Okay. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
So, Marathon.
Right. What have they stolen
coming
now?
Out. It's finally coming out.
No,
it's finally
not. You fib. Out. You lie. You lie.
Bungie.
Right.
Bungie have slinked away from the shadows out back into the light of the shadows of plagiarism to say that Marathon is coming out on the on March 2026. That's
no, it's
launch
not.
Window. It's going to be priced around £40. Better than 70. Still looks like it should be a free-to-play game, if I'm totally honest.
I wonder if it will turn into one.
I'd rather they price it at 40 and don't absolutely fill it to the rafters with bloody microtransactions, but we'll see how this goes.
Have you seen what's up with Destiny 2 at the moment? Strap in, mate. You're going to be microtransactioning till the cows come home.
But yeah, they've put out a new Vision of Marathon video.
Yeah, I actually watched. I watched some of that.
Yeah,
interested. Problem is, I like the idea of extraction shooters, but I just know it's going to be a stressful experience for me. That's the thing. I just
because it's an online shooter.
Because it's an online shooter, and they just really, I don't find them a relaxing experience. I think if there was that's why I've been very tempted by Ark Raiders in the same way, but it sounds like there's a lot of shenanigans going on. And perhaps it's just my temperament, but it does look like they have listened to the evisceration it got in Alpha. They also sounds like there has been some money changing hands between the artist who they borrowed and were inspired. Yeah, and were inspired by. So it sounds like that hatchet's been buried.
I'm assuming that was money for NDA because they've come out and said they've reached an agreement and they haven't said what it is. So
yes, indeed. But it does look like they've given it quite where it was kind of just all bright colours and very flat previously. It now looks like they've kind of grunged it up a little bit, where it's the story that. They're trying to link it back consciously to the original Marathon game, where it's kind of, or the plot of the original Marathon game, where kind of Marathon, the spaceship, was a colony ship, and where the game takes place is kind of in and around the main colony. And some bits have failed, well, quite a lot of it has failed, but there's real differences in how the map and how the environment works, depending on kind of which bit of the colony you're in. And it does lean into that, what did they discover, a bit more. Now, how much of that you're going to be able to reliably get, depending how they've balanced the storytelling with the looter shooter, with the extraction PvP element, time will tell. But it looks like they're consciously trying to give it a bit of a plot now, which is good, because, I think in the alpha you weren't going to get a lot of that, but I think a lot of people were expecting it. Yeah, when you say it like that, it makes me think of the first Titanfall game, which no one ever talks about. They only ever talk about Titanfall 2. Yeah, where it had a dedicated story mode. Yeah, and I wonder if that might come down the line. I do think because Marathon was such a fantastic single-player, story-driven experience back in the day, I think going looter-shooter is a bit weird here still. But, it does look like they have gone back to if the videos to be believed, looks like they have consciously gone back to the drawing board and a number of design elements, both gameplay, visually, It looks a lot more interesting in kind of the visual textures and kind of just the feel of the game than it did previously. But yeah, I don't know. I'm the kind of the just the fact that I just know it's going to put my blood pressure through the roof as I try and deal with people with reflexes still as I try and extract a pants bit of loot. We'll see. I'm not sure I need that much jeopardy in my life.
I'm really blanking on the feature. I don't know if they mentioned it in the video, but one of the big bits of feedback is they would say, proximity chat.
Yes.
A lot of people requested proximity chat, to which the developers said, no, that ruins games. And then Arc Raiders comes out, becomes the biggest shooter of the year. So
I'm still, with the right crowd, I could see me liking it. If we were able to regularly get a team online, both in Arc Raiders and with Marathon, I'd probably be more likely to give it a go, because then I could just play the support class, which is what I would tend to do. It sounds like there's also a solo mode that they've introduced in Marathon now as well, so you're not just paired up with randoms. Because I think that you had a fire team of 3 because it's Bungie, I think. And you could just previously that was the minimum team size, whereas now, at least with the solo play, you don't have to put up with inbred Mook Farland, whatever his name is. I was trying to come up with a name for Cletus McInbred. I don't know. But basically, you don't have to deal with the public unless you really want to, which is a good thing, in my opinion.
Okay. Dan, do you want to know about unionization?
Oh my God, that's my... All right, who's fired who now because they've threatened people with actually decent employment rights?
Well, I was going to say good news. The staff at id Software, the studio behind Doom and Quake, they've voted to form a wall-to-wall union with the Communications Workers of America, which the group represents 165 employees across disciplines, including development, art, and programming, which has been formally recognized by Microsoft. Bad news, id Software are soon to be getting announced as closed by Microsoft. So,
God damn it.
Probably.
Jesus.
Sorry. There's been a lot of Microsoft closures and changes and things. I just I worry when I hear something like this.
And it's just, I just think it just speaks so terribly about the state of the industry, where unionizing and asking just to be treated like a human being is a cause for the higher ups to look for ways to jettison employees. I just think it's terribly depressing. I really do.
I mean, unfortunately, we've spoken about it before. Like, it's the state of the industry since before lockdown, really. Like 2019 was kind of the point where we started seeing this, and I think lockdown, the lockdown, everything shutting down and then starting up, and the loans and all this stuff. That was really the kind of tipping point. But tech industry, video games, movies, like seeing it everywhere.
All industries.
So, all industries. It's not being great. But hopefully this is good news and not excuses to shut down studio. The catalyst to start finding an excuse to shut down the studio or minimize studios.
I mean, that's kind of, and we'll get onto the Game Awards in a little bit, but a bit of me just shows the impunity with which these large corporations can operate when, despite treating employees in this way, when GTA 6 is still the most looked forward to or the most anticipated game of 2026, despite all the shenanigans that they've done. It's just very depressing. And it's kind of like, don't encourage their behavior, goddammit.
I mean, I am excited for that game. I will probably pick up that game day one. But it is crap. I'll admit it. You know?
Yep.
What can you do?
Anyway.
Have you heard of a little game called Terminator Survivors? This is not the 2D pixely game. This is a survival game set in the Terminator world.
Right, this probably in some recess of my mind, it's lurking in there, sticking its thumb up through the lava. I don't know.
So the most I've heard of this is what I use one of those websites to use the game collection to buy a lot of my video games, because if you order them enough in advance, you get discounts, and also
other collections are available.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying this is why I know of this stuff, but also you get points for your purchases, which can then be used for cash off other purchases. So it kind of works out in the long term. It's been pretty cool. What I'll tend to do is every few months I'll go on there and go, oh, okay, these games have been added to there. I'll just pre-order them now, build up a little pile, and then when they all start coming out, hey, good. I save some money along the way. I get new games to play, talk about on the show. Terminator Survivors has been in the queue since 2022.
Right.
We're now about to hit 2026. And they've just announced, so this was meant to come out in early access. And it's meant to be coming to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. Nacon Studio, the Polish studio, have announced that the game has been delayed indefinitely, and it's also, the plan is to not release it in early access. It's to now delay it and then release it fully when that is. But we have no indication of when that is. Judgment Day is taking a long time to get here, Dan.
I mean, which is good. I mean, ironically, this is as AI in game development gathers pace, they're delaying Terminator, which I think is a good thing. If we're to stretch that metaphor to breaking point, but aren't they also removing the multiplayer element?
Yeah, and that's like the whole point of this. I thought was like,
that's
trying
what
to survive.
I was thinking. Yeah.
It's kind of like, and again, a lot of these games seem to come out and no one knows anything about them. There was a Dragon Ball game a little while ago where you're hiding from one of the bad guys, like a Frieza or a Cell, but you're all the underpowered characters like Oolong and Bulma, and some of the lesser characters that don't have power. So you're trying to hide from these super powerful characters. I thought it was meant to be one of those kind of things where you and some friends are trying to survive the Terminators, but. Yeah, no multiplayer. So it sounds like a slightly less interesting game. But I was just interested to know if you'd heard about this, because I keep seeing this thing pop up and going, what is this game? I can't find any gameplay footage or anything on it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like I could really... Because when I vaguely remember it, I think like you, just hearing the word kind of like Terminator Survivors just made me think it was going to be like kind of the equivalent of Rust or something based in the Terminator universe. I thought,
I'd play that.
Yeah, and that's where that kind of side of it made me think. And now that, to me, that would seem such a awesome premise or an awesome concept for a game. But it's just a shame that they seem to be pulling their punches with presumably, with the multiplayer aspect and just spinning it off. Seems like a bit of a missed opportunity to me, but yep.
Well, all right. Well, moving on. The Game Awards. All about gamers, about games. I could not tell you any of the results other than Claire Obscure Expedition 33 won a lot, and
it did, and rightly so.
But more importantly, the streamer of the year, the Burnt Peanut.
He lost.
No, he won, didn't he?
Did he? He didn't.
I thought he
was
won.
Not. He wasn't Content Creator of the Year, mate.
Oh, I thought he was. It was.
I'm going to look it up. Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
Was that last
No.
Oh,
Just
Moist Critical
no.
one. Oh, that's not fun.
Oh, yeah,
well.
See? Look at me actually doing some reading for a change.
Oh, I'm disappointed. I mean, I like Moist Critical, and he is in Dispatch as a voice actor, but it would have been cool if Burnt Peanut won. If we had discovered Burnt Peanut and then through the nominations and they won, that would have been awesome.
He looks like Moist Critical looks like a BG with lip filler. I always think.
Good. Anyway, enough about that. The more important thing about the Game Awards is the games, because they tend to announce loads of games or show us updates. Or Peanut won the VTuber thing before the Game Awards. Okay, good. I'm glad he won something. I like that guy. Yes, loads of games were announced. We're not going to go through absolutely every single game. That will take forever. Instead, we are just going to go through some of the games that caught our eye, and one that I forgot to mark on the agenda, but I'll get to that later. Dan?
Yes.
Let me tell you about a little game that caught my eye. Probably the game that caught my eye the most.
Right.
Bradley the Badger.
Yes, I like that. I badger. I love the look of this game. This looks fun, full of whimsy, and actually quite good gameplay mechanic ideas as well.
I need to know this. They do a tease of a meta game, and I want to know about this. But Bradley the Badger, it's the kind of the mascot platformer type game that they went away for a while. They're back now. I like it. They're in POG form. But yes, nice little platformer. But then there was a part in the trailer where Bradley the Badger stumbled into what looked like the game developer's office, ended up in our world, and I need to know what's happening.
Well, I think the premise of the game is that he's stuck in kind of half-finished game worlds, and there's Cyber Badger 2077. I think there's The Last of Us or something in there as well. I think what were the other ones? There we go. Cyber Badger, for those of you who are watching, and it's just kind of
talk
like
about
him
hell.
Last Badger. There we go. I mean, look, a Badger Born. Thank you, Sam. That was another one. And it looks like some kind of it just looks like a glorious Mickey take of game developers. It looks fantastic, and the kind of the gameplay hook is you can engage with just about anything in the world. You can interact with every object, make things bigger, make things smaller, do all kinds of stuff with them.
Turn into vehicles. It's got that kind of Kirby mouthful mode about it.
Yeah. And I think this is going to be an awesome, fun game. I just hope it's not a joke stretched to breaking point. Genuinely, I think this looks fantastic. I'm really looking forward to Bradley the Badger.
It does look good. Another one is we finally got some kind of news on what the next I'm assuming this is one of the Old Republic games, like an RPG, and not just sharing the name of Old Republic, but Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic. We got a cool little tease trailer about that. I thought that was interesting.
Casey Hudson's involved, I believe.
Casey Hudson.
Of Mass Effect, obviously a major Mass Effect alum there.
Yes.
This, and who obviously did the original KOTOR.
Yes. That's why I'm assuming this is an RPG like the KOTOR games and not just sharing the name of the Old Republic.
Rather than Kate, we got Casey in. He's just making the coffees for everyone, but technically he's part of the team. So this is going to succeed.
Yeah, just a pre-render trailer for now, no gameplay at all, but it's very exciting news. Hopefully it's not exciting news in the kind of form of where they like to tease the Mass Effect players by going, we're making a new game, see you in 8 years, I guess.
I doubt we're going to see this before 2028 or 2029 at the earliest.
Yeah, so there was rumors that that we're not going to see this till 2030, which I believe Casey Hudson came out to say, there's no truth to that claim, but it is going to be a long development for this game. Which it probably will be 2030 when you think about it. But
yeah.
I would be interested. I mean, do you know what? Talking about the Star Wars games that we got pre-rendered cutscenes for and no sign of it ever again. What the hell happened to the Quantic Dream Star Wars game they were working on? That disappeared very quick. We got a trailer and then nothing ever again.
It was an emotional pod racer. That's all it was. Not an emotional roller coaster. Or is it an emotional pod racer?
If you want to talk about Star Wars Galactic Racer, I am more than happy because that got me so excited.
I mean, to be fair, at least something's come good. At least episode 1 has at least contributed some half decent racing games in the form of it was the N64 pod racer, and
which is
now
great.
This, Yeah.
It's still great. And I spoke about this when, because they did the re-release for consoles and Nintendo Switch and stuff. And I ended up, I think they sent me a copy. I can't remember. It's a while ago. But I was super excited for that because I used to play a lot of Star Wars Pod Racer on the 64. And I didn't realize some of that game is locked behind expansion pack because I did not have an expansion pack.
Oh, really?
And I didn't find that. Yeah, I did some of the races and stuff. I didn't find that out for years later. So when I finally played the game properly on Switch, and it just like plays buttery smooth and stuff, it was so much fun getting back into that. Doing that, but having like modern day graphics and just the excitement of the pod race. I am really excited about that.
And there's some great fan service in terms of the locales. It looks like there's a Hoth level. Looks like there's from episode 7.
I forget the Battle of something. It's wherever Rey is at the start of that film.
Yeah.
Not Tatooine, but Tatooine.
Not Alderaan. No, I need to have my nerd card back. I should Google it, but
it's okay.
I mean,
it's not that important. And Sebulba at the end.
Yes.
Old Sebulba.
Yeah. Oh,
we saw an old Watto in episode 3. I'm so happy we're getting old Sebulba.
Mm-hmm. No, it's going to be good times. It is going to be good times. I have moderately decent hopes for that game. I have to say, I think it's gonna be all right. But yes. So there's that, and then next up, from the ones I think I'm interested in this one as well, is Divinity.
Yes. I'm going to put the video up. I will warn you. It's a gross video.
Yeah, trigger warning incoming. So this is by Larian Studios. It's ostensibly part of the same universe as the Divinity Original Sin game.
Yeah.
Both 1 and 2. But they're describing it as their biggest game they've ever done, the most expansive game they've ever done. You know, considering that Baldur's Gate 3 was an 120-hour monster, which with near infinite replay value, this is going to be pretty hardcore, I think.
Yeah, and it has confirmed it's going to be a turn-based game like the Divinity games. Like I always forget the name of the other one that I was like really into for a hot minute. The Dungeons and Dragons themed one.
Oh.
I hate when I forget game titles that I keep playing.
Yes, but I mean, if you want to kind of get an idea of how the Divinity universe kind of shapes up and what's going on, you can usually pick Divinity Original Sin up, both 1 and 2, for a fairly reasonable price on Steam.
Oh, yeah. And they work so well on Steam Deck.
Yes. So I might sink some time. I might boot those up again, I think.
Yeah. I remember doing Divinity Original Sin 2 at it was some kind of game event, and it was so they could show off. They were like, oh, look, 4K 60 playing on Xbox Series, not Series X, but whatever that high-powered Xbox One was before that.
Xbox One X.
Yes. So they are like super supported with those games. Those games are super supported across all the platforms, and they are worth playing. This looks all the cool, all the gross. I'm going to take it off before it gets too gross.
Face-meltingly exciting, I think, is what you're looking for.
It was interesting, and it gave us an answer to what was that big statue that they were using to hype up the Game Awards.
Oh, wasn't that everyone? What did everyone think it was? Not that.
They thought it was Diablo. They thought it was Bloodborne. They thought it was Hello Kitty's Roller Coaster Adventure. They thought, like loads of different suggestions of what it could be.
No, but it wasn't any of them. It wasn't any of them. Gutted. Yes. So what next do you want to talk about, mate? Since this wasn't,
lighten the tone a bit.
Right.
There was a game called Screamer. Which I thought was interesting. So they kind of did this with one of the latest Need for Speed games, where they try to blend an anime aesthetic with realistic driving. With Need for Speed driving, and I thought it was a really good idea.
Not realistic driving.
Yeah, could have been done a lot better, but it seems to have like the flashy, super cool. It has a realistic art style when it comes to the racing, but the arcadey racing style. But then all the cutscenes and the characters are very anime. So it looks like they've taken that initial idea and then just leaned right into the anime idea of it. I thought the presentation of this looked so cool. I love me an arcadey racer. I think the Need for Speed games they take too long to come out in between each installment when I want to get into a new one, and there doesn't seem to be too many competitors to that throne at the moment. So the idea of chucking a new one in, I am very excited for this.
So is this kind of open world, or is it kind of like set piece tracks that you're racing on?
I don't know, but I thought the racing alone was enough for me to go, yes, I need to try me some of this.
For some reason, I'm sure it's probably very different, but I was getting. Do you remember Split Second? That was a great game. That was a massively underrated game. Was that? Am I thinking it's that one or Blur? Which one was the Disney funded one? I think that was Split Second. Split Second, I think it
either
was.
way, like both of them did not meet expectations, and Split Second, I think, ended up closing down the studio. So,
yeah, it was a corking game. That I did like me some Split Second. It was underrated. So next
Split was
up,
Disney, Blur was Activision. There you
go. So next up for me, just because I love the universe this game exists in, Control Resonant, which is a completely different take on what I thought was going to be the really deep kind of ability gunplay mechanic that was in the original Control. But actually, this almost looks a bit more Devil May Cry in its presentation and gameplay. Where I think again it's in the same universe
Devil May
as
Control.
Devil May Control. Nice.
That's good.
Have a biscuit,
like
Sam. Have a biscuit. But yeah, it's kind of the same, slightly messed up metaphysical world that Control was in. And yeah, I was just really excited to see a bit more of this. Looks like it's got more of a San Francisco-y kind of vibe rather than...
It's got a bit of a Doctor Strange vibe whenever he goes in that kind of prison world, which I like. I like that style.
But really excited to see what they do with this. Yes.
Because they've gone for the over-the-shoulder third-person attack style. Do you think this is a hack and slash, or do you think this is like a Souls-like?
I think it's going to be a hack and slash.
I hope so. We seem to be steering away from the Souls-like to the hack and slash, which I'm happy with because I've missed hack and slashes so much.
Yeah, I had to guess. I would say it was a hack and slash.
Does look cool though.
I'm quite excited.
Even though it's a different style game, different title, this is essentially Control 2. It's the same, following on from that story, same world. So the Control world. Sorry if I get my remedies right or wrong. So Control and Alan Wake are the same world.
Yes, they are.
But
so
Quantic
this is the same one.
Break isn't, because they are. The Alan Wake world is a fictional world within Quantic Break. So I'm assuming Control is also.
Yeah, I think I'm having a stroke, but that sounds right.
Yeah. And Quantic Break was tied to the Xbox exclusively, so they said we don't want that in our shared world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, that's a good corner we've painted ourselves into. No, it did not do well. But yeah, I suspect, and I'm going to steal that from Sam, Devil May Control, I think, is where we're at.
Devil May Control. Let's take a little turn into the movie world, which we don't do often. But there was a nice little tease trailer for Street Fighter the movie, which I'm a fan of the 90s Street Fighter the movie, Dan.
It's one of those so bad it's good movies, in my opinion.
Not because it's good. It's one of those like gather around with your friends. Let's make some fun at a Street Fighter film. But also, I am fascinated with the kind of the development of that film and how wrong it was going and how drug fueled it was. This looks drug fueled.
Yeah, it looks just
It's
insane.
bizarre.
Is it so?
I mean, it's great. It looks great, but it's bizarre. It kind of looks like those videos that flood the internet where people fan cast a movie and then use the AI character creations to go, yeah, I want Cody Rhodes to be Guile.
And Jason Momoa's Blanca, I think.
Yes. Although this did give us something that the internet's wanted for quite a while since the first reveal of Jason Momoa as Aquaman. It gave us a picture of Aquaman. Calling him his fish name. She gave us a picture of Jason Momoa. It gave us a picture of Jason Momoa and Roman Reigns in the same room at the same time, which people have been comparing to for ages. Roman Reigns being Akuma in this world.
Yes. Can I just ask what the bloody hell is going on with 50 Cent as Balrog, please? What is that
The
about?
hair. The hair is so bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
It looks interesting. I don't know about you, Dan. I will be doing a double bill. I will be watching the if I can find a place, if it like Prince Charles Cinema does the original film and the new film in the same night, I will buy a ticket for that. Otherwise, I'll be having bad movie drinky watching Street Fighter the first film in the evening, and then maybe bad cinema film drinky doing the actual release film the next day.
I mean, it just looks like they've kind of, for M. Bison's costume, they've gone down like a Halloween store or something like that. It's just kind of basically, it's not good. It doesn't, it looks a bit naff, I think. And I think if M. Bison's anything to go by, it looks a bit naff.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, I am intrigued. Now I want to see this.
Fair enough.
Not one, but two wrestlers, Dan. And a comedian playing Dan. Comedian that's a very heavy lifting on the word comedian, but you know.
Yeah. But it's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing. I think that much we can kind of
coming out sometime next year.
Yes.
Tomb Raider.
Yes.
I didn't see this coming. New Tomb Raider games. So we got a teaser of Tomb Raider Catalyst, which we got a cinematic teaser for. This is coming out sometime next year.
It's based in India this time around, isn't it?
Yes, interesting. I like that.
Yes,
but
lot of cool mythology to dig into there.
Yeah, we seem to be going. It's kind of a blending of classic-looking Lara and the survival trilogy version of Lara. We've had some changes to Lara with the animated Netflix series that didn't really get received too well. There was a board game that was coming out that a lot of people took umbrage with the style and the characters in that game. So we seem to be steering a bit further away from that, and we've gone back to a little bit more of a modern blended with classic version of Lara, which I'm sure some people would be happy with. I'm not really bothered. I just want to know if the games are any good.
Yeah.
It's a cinematic trailer. We won't know much until the game comes out, but we know how Tomb Raider plays. What I am interested by, then, is that we are
getting a remake, aren't we, of the first one?
Yes, which we've had before. We had the anniversary edition of Tomb Raider. But we're now getting like a solid, proper remake of the original Tomb Raider to play more like the more modern games and look like the older games.
Which is brilliant, because I didn't get on well with the original Tomb Raider because I thought it was very strange having Lara controlling with like a tank. It just all felt very strange to me. But yeah, this looks. I think they're doing a lot of rejigging of just about every aspect of the game to make it fit more with modern expectations of controls and stuff like that. I was a little bit disappointed to see a close up of her butt as a fairly central bit of the trailer. I was like, really,
Not bothered.
Really,
Not
I didn't know. I just thought we were a bit better than that this day and age. But there we go.
I mean, I think that's kind of the argument to it. We had again, like I say, the projects that people were kind of argumentative about, the new look of Lara and having a more masculine tone to her. I know there's been a lot of backlash about that. Again, I'm not bothered. If the thing's good, I like it. And I know a lot of people like the survival series, but in 3 different cases, those games did not sell as well as they were meant to, according to the studio, which I know lofty expectations of the studio at the time. But still so, they've clearly gone, okay, we're going to listen to this side of the internet now, and we're going to go a little bit more this way. So we've gone for the classic look. Lara's in her shorts, Lara's in a green skimpy top. But dinosaurs.
Yeah,
you get to go through the temples. You get to find dinosaurs. I hope there's that broken bridge where you get to try and jump over a T-Rex, because I remember trying endlessly to pull that off. It never worked quite right on the old PlayStation game. In the
context of teenage you liking Lara, I tried to pulling one off is probably not the turn of phrase you want.
I mean, I feel that original game sold well because of the sex appeal of the character, and not so much
strangely
the play
triangular
of the game.
Norks.
That game got a lot of high praise across the boards, and then I ended up picking it up as a young Coleman. Spent my pocket money on Tomb Raider. Got it home and went, I do not like this game. This is very hard to play.
But pyramidal Norks. So you were happy, little Coleman discovering himself in the world.
Again, I'm not bothered. I mean, there's a whole thing that you remember. There was some outcry and some cheers for Stellar Blade, the Stellar Blade game coming out, because of the kind of skimpy nature of those outfits.
I was very disappointed by it. Again, it just felt like we've tried so hard to establish games as a viable medium, but it's just like, oh, look at the Norks on there.
I think we're allowed.
It just depresses me.
I think it's absolutely fine if you want to sell your game on sex appeal, then you can do that. But you can also have this game over here. You know, you can have different games for different people. If you don't like it, don't play it. Simple as that. But that game, there was a lot of outcry about the sexual nature of that game. Sold a lot of money. It did so well. Like, the developer of that game won an award for heightening the Korean game development for their industry. So, you know, it sells. So no wonder you want to kind of sexualize Lara Croft a bit more these days. Anyway,
I just thought we were better than that.
Well, let's talk about a more family-friendly looking game.
Okay, well, Diablo 4.
Yes,
no,
exactly.
Orbitals.
No, Orbitals.
Right.
Very interesting, I thought.
What is this game about?
So it's a cooperative 2-player game for the Nintendo Switch 2. Looks to be a platform exclusive, where you got to combine with each other, do some platforming, some flights, some shooting. It kind of looks like, and again, I'm blanking on names of games. Split Fiction.
Oh, Split Fiction.
Similar, or Brother, A Tale of Two. One of those kind of games where you need to play this in multiplayer to get through. But the reason it looks so good, it's got that 80s style anime aesthetic that just works so well. I think this looks gorgeous. Before I got to the Game Awards trailers, I saw a couple of little flashes of this online. I went, what the hell is this game? I need to make a note of that. And then lucky it was in the Game Awards stuff, so I ended up catching that. But it looks really good.
Yeah. I mean,
Orbitals.
that didn't really kind of blip for me, but I could see how it could be good fun game. And the visual style's brilliant. Kind of very kind of 80s Studio Ghibli kind of feel to it. Which was nice. I like that style. It could be a good one, that one.
Well, what else do you gel with, Dan? Let's do one more.
Diablo 4.
Of course.
I like me some loot to make my lizard brain feel happy.
I need numbers to go up.
And I need shiny things. So Diablo 4 is basically more of that. I think, is it Mephisto who you're up against here? Not Coleman, come on. Not me fist you, or you get fisted. Mephisto.
Isn't that one of the He-Man characters?
Yes, the ones who didn't didn't get a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
Where were we? So this is, hey, it's more Diablo. There's you can pre-order now on the strength of the pre-rendered trailer, which has lots of goblins to kill by the looks of it. But the thing to draw you in and make you part with your hard-earned cash today is that if you pre-order, you get immediate access to the Paladin class in the games it is at the moment, and that's there's a new season just kicked off. So I would imagine fun is to be had there. But other than that, it's just more Diablo and probably a new area in the map and new big bads. So,
have you still been playing much of Diablo? I know you were kind of hot on it when it first came out, and then soured on it a little bit.
I dipped back in after they redid kind of the loot and some of the core mechanics. It's really good. It was I would happily. I'm thinking about dipping into the new season. I'm quite tempted to pick this up just to give the new character a bit of a go, just to have something different to do. But I do have a big old pile of shame I need to work my way through. And,
that always happens at the end of the year.
I can probably hang on a little bit, but I think that it's priced at 35 quid, I think. So it's a fair chunk of change, but I've been pretty impressed with the changes they've made to Diablo 4 since launch. So I think it will be a good fun expansion. But again, I'm a little bit reticent, having really been burnt by finally cottoned on to Destiny shenanigans and having been burnt on speculatively buying an expansion. I kind of might wait to see some of the reviews. I don't know.
That's probably a sensible idea.
It would be a sensible idea.
I had a fun time with Diablo, and I have an Xbox Series X that I don't use, and I have a Game Pass that I barely use, and I keep installing this game and then going, I'll get to that, and then I never get to it, and then I uninstall it when I need more space because something else came out. Unfortunately, end of the year, I'd love to say I'm going to jump into this. End of the year, I've got Ghost of Yotei, and I've got Death Stranding, and I've got other things that need a play in. Yeah.
But Diablo 4, if you can get it for a good price on Steam, doesn't play terribly on the Steam Deck. Just as long as you set your expectations right and your settings low, it actually is all right on your massive geek.
Baldur's Gate, that's the game I was trying to think of when we were talking about Divinity. Just clicked in my brain. I was like, what else was I playing on Steam Deck that I had to really lower the specs on? Baldur's Gate. Anyway, those are the games that caught our eye at the Game Awards. There's loads more. There's High Guard, which is getting some flack. There's a Mega Man Dual Override, I thought was an interesting one. Phantom Blade Zero, we saw more of. Out of Words, that is a very interesting stop motion looking game. New Ace Combat 8, Wings of Thrive. Wow.
Set phases to novice. Tell Tim that one's coming out.
Well, I was going to say, not only the novice thing, but also we've got to say it because Tim's not here, but we have to say it on his behalf, I feel. I wonder if they're going to add that mode for PlayStation VR too, because they launched that game with PlayStation VR support, and it was amazing. Yeah.
I'll have none of that nonsense.
Wings of Thief, thank you. It's hard for me to TH sometimes, so I have a gap in my teeth. No Law. No Law was a very interesting looking one. More 007 First Light. We know Lenny Kravitz is still in that game.
I just say, what the actual?
Yeah, Lenny Kravitz is going to be in that game. However, I'm still thinking about picking it up, so it's not all bad.
Okay.
We got The Forest 3. Forest 3, that had such a wild trailer that I did not realize that was a forest game. Like, I thought The Forest is survival. This had sci-fi, crazy, dark, and now I've gone, do I need to play Forest 1 and 2? I need to figure out what's going on here and play this game.
And also, like one man and his dog, but with the more of the best bit, dog, the free shepherd.
Dog.
You play a dog shepherding sheep. Looks like a lovely chill out time.
Also, Gang of Dragon, which we didn't mention at all, but Mang Dong-suk, he has his own video game and it looks cool.
Yep. It does look awesome. That does look, and it's made by. Is it made by some of the Yakuza team or?
Yeah,
not?
it's the same team.
Yeah.
So you got another kind of another story to throw in that with you got Like a Dragon series. You've got the Lost. What's it called now? There's another one. There's a bunch of series that are all kind of those guys. So it looks cool. Yes, those are all the things we saw at the Game Awards, and we want to. Well, we didn't see. We watched like you guys did, but now we spoke about them. Shall we wrap up, Dan?
Let's wrap up
for the last show of 2025, the last live stream, the last full episode of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Time to wrap up.
It is time to wrap up. So make sure you go to www.bigredbarrel.com/store. Buy my face. You can buy my face, and you might not get shipping in time for Christmas, but you could even have a new version of my face for 2026. Bring in a new year with a grimace and a gun. Buy my face. bigredbarrel.com/store. My face. Buy it.
Nice. Tuesday is a Tuesday. We just had the final Tabletop Tuesday of 2025. But for those who don't know, each and every Tuesday, apart from the ones coming up in 2025 until it returns, each and every Tuesday we have Tabletop Tuesday. That's an event where you can go down to the Loading Bar in Stoke, Newington. You can play whatever the featured games are, and then you get entered into a raffle just for playing. And by the end of the night, you could be taking that said game home with you. It's a great night. Unfortunately, I heard that the holiday special, end of the year special, went down very well. Unfortunately, Tim wasn't there to enjoy it because he got the flu.
I'm sure that was a coincidence.
Yeah. So Elena had to step into the hib-size boots and did a very good job, even though she was very suffering her allergies at the time. So shouting out in the way that Tim does to announce everything to everyone is probably not the best move, but she did very well regardless.
Thanks, Elena.
We will let you know when there are more Tabletop Tuesdays afoot for Loading Bar in Stoke Newington. But before then, you can make sure to check out on Tabletop Tuesdays on meetup.com, or you can go to bigredbarrel.com and click the link on the front page that says Tabletop Tuesday to find out more. Speaking of bigredbarrel.com, you should go to bigredbarrel.com. That's the website that hosts this here podcast, along with other things. We've had a review put up about Demon School, which looks very, very intriguing if you're a fan of the Persona type titles. It's got that kind of old school pixel style to it with days in schools and nights in this nightmare realm of fighting things. Looks cool. Go read that. And trailers, and we put loads of stuff up. Make sure to go to bigredbarrel.com. Check it out. While you're there, you can click around all the social link buttons. They will take you to anywhere that has a big red barrel at the end of it. That will usually be one of our things, like YouTube. You can go to Big Red Barrel at YouTube. You can subscribe. You can like. You can comment on the videos. You can check out our live streams. If you're subscribed, they'll tell you when we go live. That's pretty cool. But also, you can go to our Discord. That's available if you go to bigredbarrel.com/Discord. It's a nice little
Or if you're cool,
go on.
Discord.com/invite/Munterhafwa.
Oh, if you're really cool, bigredbarrel.com/Munterhafwa.
Munterhafwa.
Both are available.
Yeah. bigredbarrel.com/Discord. If you just like words that you can type.
We have game giveaways. We have gamer nights and chat rooms and things. We have lots of things going on there. You can talk to us. You can ask us questions, much like Dragon Master Kale has done. He says, I have a question. Mm-hmm. Do you have any gaming tradition around the holidays? If you don't, feel free to make something up. We won't know any better.
Well, obviously I have legal backups of all the retro games I own.
Yes.
I actually quite like to kind of retrace my paths from Christmases gone by and the games I can remember getting for Christmas when I was a wee nipper. So there's kind of Zelda in there, Mario Brothers 3, in my older years, some Majora's Mask, not Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my gaming holiday tradition, is to kind of retread gaming memories of old. That's what I do, and attempt to get my missus to play video games again, which she always just bounces off of. She's like, "No, this is stupid." How old are you?
Can I interest Sarah in a dispatch where she can watch the game and then give you pointers of what to do? That's usually a good entry, and like the old Telltale games or the Man of Medan. What are those called? Dark.
No, I'm Dan.
Dark Pictures. Yeah, I know you. Dark Pictures anthology games where, some of those games that are like the Telltale games, you can play them multiplayer where you vote on the decisions, that kind of thing, or randomly pick for someone. Those kind of things could be a good way of getting in. I've found. My tradition for quite some time, much like that, it's try to kind of catch up on the pile of shame and play as many of the year releases as I can, if some part, because we have a game of years that we like to talk about. Otherwise, it's catch up on the ones that I was really enjoying for the year, but put aside to play other games because we do a podcast. For quite some time, it was I found I was getting too old for the New Year's parties and would quite rather be at home instead on New Year's. So I would use my New Year's playing like a big open world game. Now I'm at that age where New Year's is for not going out and doing wild parties. It's for going out with other couples and having dinner. So that tradition died this year. So
yeah, fair enough. But no, I
those
quite like
new traditions. Oh, and family games as well. Family games at Christmas.
Yeah, often a Jackbox gets busted out at some point as well, I think.
It's tabletop with my parents, my family, my side of the family. Last year it was with my partner's side of the family, and it was playing Tekken 7 with all the kiddos there, and letting them win until the boys started ganging up on the younger girl, to which she handed me the controller and then whispered in my ear, "Get him." So I didn't let them win for the rest of the night, which I thought was very funny.
Nice.
Yeah. Christmas traditions.
Yes. Right. Well, probably we ought to wrap this sucker up. I think that's what we've been trying to do for the last 10 minutes, but I've been failing miserably. So we're going to properly do it now. So all that's really left for us to do is to remind you that I have been Dan.
I've been at Game Awards.
And Tim's not here. So,
oh, yeah.
There's that.
Rest in peace, Tim.
Yes.
Rest in power, King.
So we'll be back next year. But until then, dear listeners, and until next show, which will be before the end of the year, we just need to record the suckers. But until then, I've forgotten how to do this show, the end of the show, evidently. Until then, dear listeners, there we go. That's where it is. Toodle-bye.
Welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarrel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarrel.com.
Also, I just realized, speaking about how gorgeous Octopath Traveler is, I didn't put the video up, so...
let's
that's how
do
it looks.
that and have a...
Beautiful.
Look at the lovely graphics
nice.
and the little
Yeah.
people. And this is
All right,
useless
that's
for
enough of
the audio listeners, but hey.